Welcome to the show. Hey, and welcome back to the Lord Crochet Ignite Show. I am super happy to have you here today. So come on in, and get in where you fit in, because I've always got room right around my table for you, your friends, and your frenemies. So go ahead, like, share, start a watch party, run and tell somebody that Lotus Crochet Ignites is hot on the box. I'm going to encourage you, grab your notebook and grab your pen, because I always say note takers are money makers and note takers are change makers.
That's right, folks. We got the best judge on the planet. Kimberly. Yeah. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Kimberly Best.
I just love that intro, y'all. Just Judge Kimberly Best. Judge Kimberly Best is here with me tonight, folks. And we are going from the seat to the street. And I know many of you are saying, Lolo, what do you mean from the seat to the street? Well, guess what? She is a judge and she sits in the judge's seat. And she does so much for the world. And sometimes she has to take it to the street. And so tonight, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to ask her some powerful questions that's going to help illuminate what it is to be a judge, what it is to be in the judicial system, and how she looks at it. So I want you to come on in and get in where you fit in, because I always got room around my table for you. Why? Because I am bringing inspiration to every nation to help you ignite and take flight in every area of your life. So as you come in, go ahead, like, share, start a watch party, run and tell somebody that your girl, Lotus Crochet, is hot on the box tonight. And I have got the amazing Judge Kimberly Best in the house. Now, you already know where I'm going. You already know what I'm going to say. Pow! Note takers are money makers. Get your notepad. And look, if you really want to win, get a pen, because you can't take notes without a pen. And if you don't have a pen, look, get a marker, get your eyeliner. I don't care what you get, but you're going to need to write down some notes tonight. Why? Because Judge Best is coming from the seat to the street. And you know that Judge Best cannot be beat. And I know, okay, you're saying, Lolo, we are so ready. We are so ready to go. So if you're ready to go ahead and put a number one. Put a number one in the comment block below. I'm starting off right tonight and keeping it tight. And then I want you to go and get your cup so you can have something to sip on, because the show's going to be dynamite. Tonight, I've got some coffee in my cup. I got some coffee in my cup tonight, y'all. Ooh, and it's pretty good, too. So if you don't have your Ignite cup, go ahead and check out my comments later on. Go ahead and grab your Ignite cup. I really appreciate it. And so as you come in, go ahead, let us know where you're coming in from. We always want to know where you're coming in from, so that we can bring you up on the screen and just give you a hearty thank you. So listen, we're about to get this show started. I want you to go ahead and like, share, start a watch party, run and tell somebody, and go ahead. And when you invite somebody to the show, don't be afraid to put their name up on the screen. And if you're invited to the show by somebody, let us know who invited you. Okay, who knows? They may get a free shirt from the show. And so look, I know you all are waiting. Tonight we just got the best of the best. We got the remarkable, from Charlotte, North Carolina, the judge, Mrs. Kimberly, or Miss Kimberly Best. And guess what? We are going to be talking about from the seat to the street. And so I don't have to repeat. I just got to go backstage and get the judge. So I'll be right back.
All right, y'all. We got the best judge on the planet. Judge Kimberly Best.
Raise your hands up. Raise them up.
Come on, y'all. Juvenile court judge. Court judge. She is here on the show tonight, from the street to the street. Welcome, my guest.
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. Happy New Year. It's been a while since we've gotten together.
I know it has been a while since we have gotten
Yes.
together, and I am super duper happy to have you on the show tonight. And people are coming in, and we're going to get right into it. So,
Okay.
Judge Kimberly Best, for those of you that are streaming in and you may not know where she's from or who she is, you should know. And if you don't know, I'm going to let you know. She is my remarkable guest, our guest. I mean, we got people from all around the world coming to the show. She's our guest from Charlotte, North Carolina. She's a remarkable judge, Kimberly Best. And our topic tonight is from the seat to the street. And so, Judge, can you tell us a little bit more about who you are and a little bit more about what you do?
Sure. So I am a district court judge in Charlotte, North Carolina. So your district court judges, we're a court of general jurisdiction. So we basically will handle matters involving families, divorce, child custody, child support, DSS cases. We handle juvenile matters. I'm a certified juvenile judge. So that means I basically can take someone's kids away from them. I can terminate parental rights, or I can give the kids back to that individual. I also handle juvenile crime.
But what if they want to give you the kids? What if they want to just say, hey, take them?
Unfortunately, I've had that happen. And what I tell them is that is not an option.
Okay.
Cannot give them away.
Right.
I would tell you that some of the things that we face that we are facing and have been facing actually for several years, but has become somewhat popular in the past 5-6 years are, the unaccompanied minors that are at the border. And we've had cases where there's literally no family member here in our vicinity. And so we try and locate that family member by reaching out to the, consulate for the country where the child has come from. So it happens. So basically I do everything. I'm in my 13th year. I just ran a successful election, and thank you. I did use your from the seat to the street language.
Yes. I told you it was yours. You can have it.
I know you did.
Yes.
And so I've done everything. I'm also part of an initiative here called Race Matters for Juvenile Justice. And our job is to try and ensure equity and equitable outcomes. And basically that if a juvenile comes into court, that we are not able to define or determine just by the color of their skin what that outcome is going to look like in our court system, in our school system, in our mental health system, all across the board. And so, that's what I've been doing. I've lived in Charlotte for 23 years, but as you know, I'm a native of Detroit. I have to give a shout out to the D. So I'm always from Detroit. I'm a graduate of McKenzie High School. So the West Side is in my blood. Yes, and home is still home, but Charlotte is home as well. So that's about it. I'm a licensed foster parent, and I have a 5-year-old little boy. So if you all hear any noise, that's because he's right here.
Yes. Yay. And he just had a birthday.
Yes.
He just turned 5. So that's great.
5.
And he's a cutie, y'all. He's a, little boys, when they get about 7 or 8, they don't want you to call him cute. I'm handsome.
Yes.
So he's handsome, y'all. He's really handsome. Awesome kid. So, Judge, again, thank you so much for being here on the show tonight. And you do a lot for a lot of people all over the place. And so I must say that we're very happy that you won again. Because we definitely need you where you are. And so I wanted to ask you, what inspired you to come and talk on the show about this topic tonight? Because a lot of people, judges and other people, they are not prepared to come from the seat to bring it to the street, because you're really you're out there working with folks that sometimes never get to see you out there in the streets for some people, because they don't get out there, whether it's because their jobs keeps them busy or because they're just too darn tired after they get off work to get in the street and do those extra things. But you make it happen.
I do. And you touched on why I'm here on the show. Number one, and I think all of your viewers know that Lotus Roche always keeps it real, and she brings fabulous topics, timely topics. and topics that matter, topics to help uplift you, help empower you, help educate you. And that's why I'm here. Because people, hopefully you haven't seen me, but maybe
Yes.
somebody in your family has.
Right.
There's this old saying that nobody likes a lawyer until they need one. Right.
Exactly.
Well, it's the same thing with a judge. When you need a judge, whether it's for a family case
Yep.
or situation, a family member, or a criminal matter, for yourself, if it's a traffic ticket, you want to make sure that your judge is a fair person who gets it. My
Yep.
theme in 2021, I'll be honest, is that where I am now with everything that's been going on in 2020 and 2021 is I've always felt that I've always tried to be as authentic as possible.
Yes.
But in 2021, all the people who had not felt that knew they were not always authentic because they felt like they couldn't be because they needed to make their coins, earn their living, they are coming out of the closet right about now, and they are keeping it real. When it comes to that, what I like to do and what I like to actually point out is that in the year 2020, this era of people who are considered experts because of where they went to school, what grades they attained, and what letters they have behind their name without lived experience,
Yes.
actually sometimes causes more damage
That's
than it
true.
does
That's true.
help. So they think they're helping, but in fact, they may be
They're
causing.
hurting. They're
And
causing some
so,
pain.
exactly. And so that's what led me, on this path and why I wanted to
Yes.
be a judge because, dare I say, I feel I have both. And that's why, and this is not to give my city, a bad name because I love my city. I love Charlotte. I love Detroit. But growing up in Detroit, there is a certain level of authenticity
Yes.
to my experience because I grew up during the crack era. When crack came on the scene in the 80s, I was in school when all of that was happening, when Detroit was murder capital of the United States. I was up in it. I went to a regular high school. We had metal detectors at my high school. I thought everybody had metal detectors, only to find out, no, not everybody has metal detectors. But that was my reality. So, I try to tell my juveniles, the kids that come before me that, listen, you have to have three things to survive in this world. You have to have street sense, you have to have common sense, and you have to have book sense. So a lot of times they have the street sense. They're young, so maybe they don't have the common sense yet, right? But they definitely, most of the time, they're missing the book sense. They're smart as all get out. They just don't have the grades to reflect it. So not saying they're not smart, but it's not reflected in their grades and the system of education that we have. So, and that's what I try and tell them and motivate them, to try and get them to make some different decisions, as hard as it can be, make some different decisions. So,
you help them do that, and you help them understand that these are critical tools that they must have to really come full circle. Because a lot of times we invest our time in just street smarts, or we invest our time in just book smarts, and what happens is the common sense thing gets dropped out and we're lacking. And so I'm hearing you say that when you help folks, or when you encourage them and you mentor them, because really they're looking at you as a mentor, whether you say I'm your mentor, whatever, they're looking at you and they're saying, okay, I got it now. I got to have the street sense, I got to have the common sense, and I got to have the book sense. So it's the SCB, right? It's the SCB.
Yes, ma'am.
So
yes, ma'am.
You help youngsters and older people get that too, because a lot of people that come to your court, I would imagine, are also older people. And when I say older people, I mean over 30.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not just juveniles.
No, it's not under any circumstances. And unfortunately, the people who come before me that are in that age group, they have been, for lack of a better term, just beat down. Life has
Yes.
really beat them down. I
Yes.
preside over mental health court also,
Mhm.
which is, we call it wellness court, in
Right.
Charlotte, and most courts around the country now.
Mhm.
They have treatment courts, and that is a
Mhm.
court that is meant to actually divert people away from the criminal justice system and into treatment, because finally
Mhm.
people realize that basically addiction is a disease. Nobody wants to
Exactly.
be addicted to alcohol or to
Oh.
drugs. Nobody wants to suffer from a mental illness. But a lot of people who are in our court system suffer from all of these things. Heaven
Yep.
forbid you have a record, a
Yep.
felony on your
Mhm.
record, and you can't get a job. You can't, find a place to live. You're limited where you can live. You're limited where you can work, and
Yep.
therefore you are
Yep.
limited with your, in your income and your ability to care for yourself or your family.
Yep.
And so, that's the thing. And that's why I try and get these young people to sort of change things that they do. I'll
Right.
also tell you, just as far as mentoring, I do have a mentor, and I've mentored several young
Mhm.
ladies
Yes.
over the years.
Mhm.
I am an active and proud member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, the same sorority as our current fabulous Vice President, Vice President Kamala Harris. And through my sorority, I mean, it's a lifetime of service.
Yes,
And,
it is.
and our motto is service to all mankind. And that's what we try to do. And that's my mantra. And I try to do that, is to be of service to all mankind. I can't, sometimes people throw money at things, and money is an
Yes.
excellent thing. Trust me, these organizations need money. In order
Need
to
it.
be
Mhm.
impactful, you need money. But sometimes
Yes.
just giving of your time can
Yes.
help make a world of difference to a young person. If you just
Yes.
mentor them, just pull them to the side and say, wait a minute, come here.
Come on. Come here.
What are
Come here.
you
Come here.
thinking?
Yeah.
What?
Come here. Young come here, you young whippersnapper. Come here. Let me talk to you for a minute.
No, when
So,
I was your age, and I would
yes.
always tell the kids, you can't outfox a fox.
Nope.
And I
Not.
am a
Not.
fox. You
Not. Not even. Not even.
not
So
at all.
I want to trickle back to something you said, because you and I talked before, and so some people may know that you are a part of Bring Who You Are, but and know that we've talked then, but we've also talked off of set. And I wanted to talk about your judicial philosophy, because you talked a little bit about it. You talked about keeping it real. You
Right.
talked about being transparent. You
Right.
talked about just doing what's right. So I know you a little bit, but for our viewers, she said she loved to keep it real. If you love to keep it real, put a K in the comment block. Keeping it real, because that's important. Our judges have got to keep it real. So can you share with us, Judge Kim? And I call her Kim. She let me get away with that. I hope I don't end up, But anyway, Judge, can you share with us what your philosophy is and why?
So my judicial philosophy, and thank you for putting it in the intro, is that justice is not one size fits all. And that concept is that, after the death of George Floyd, my colleagues and I, and all members of Race Matters for Juvenile Justice and several judges of all different races, we got together and made a video. Our Chief Justice at the time of the Supreme Court, Sherry Beasley, came out with a poignant statement about how we have to do better. We must do better. And when I ran for office in 2009, justice is not one size fits all was my judicial philosophy. And that is because everyone who comes before you is not on equal footing.
Exactly.
So therefore, if I give someone with a mental illness let's say a life sentence, and I don't give life sentences, y'all. That's why I said I'm in the general court of justice. I'm in what I call the people's court. What I do affects everyday life for you and your family. I don't have seat a lot of juries. I have done that on the civil side, but that's up to amounts that are just 25,000. But you have to take everyone as they come to you individually. And you have to basically fashion whatever response is needed to that particular individual circumstance. So if you're addicted to drugs, I need you to go and I need you to get an assessment and I need you to start treatment and I need you to remain sober. If you don't have your high school diploma or your GED, I need you, young person, or even if you're 25, I need you to go to school, find a GED or high school diploma program, and I need you to complete that because that will empower you to be able to make a decent living so that I don't see you in my courtroom again committing any type of crimes or for not paying child support or for having DSS call on you, because you're smoking drugs in your house or you're selling drugs out your house, and that is not all the situation, or if there's some domestic violence. I need you to get some treatment and figure out what is the root cause of this.
And
what are we doing?
And so, Judge, I wanted to ask this question of you because you shared something earlier that was very important. Treatment court. Now, from some of our previous conversations that when I worked for the Department of Defense, I worked with people who suffered from substance use disorders. I diagnosed them and I also took them through various levels of treatment. And so many people in my thought process don't know that treatment court even exists. So I wanted to trickle back because you already coming with golden nuggets. So how many of you out there didn't even know that treatment exists? Put a number 3 in the comment if you did not know that treatment court exists. And if you know someone that needs treatment court in her area, DM me and I'll give you information that you need. And I'm laughing, but I really, really mean this because a lot of times people get in trouble because they don't know what's out there. And this is one of the reasons why she's here tonight, to illuminate the fact that just because you've gone through some troubles or had some hard times, it doesn't have to stay that way. There are things out there to help you. And I love that you illuminated that. So I want to go back and I want to go right to the other question that I have for you. And I want to thank you for sharing your judicial philosophy, because a lot of times when people come in a courtroom, they feel like, you know what, she ain't gonna be fair. This is one size fits all. But I'm hearing you say, not only do I look at people as individuals, as an individual situation, my colleagues that I have formed a new vision with also do that. And that's powerful. So if you like that, folks, if you like that there's somebody in the seat that's coming to the street, but making sure that she's fair, firm, and consistent, go ahead and put a number 4 in the comment block below. Put a number 4 in the comment block below. So, Judge, I want to ask you, what are some of the barriers that you faced as a judge?
Number one barrier for most judges is basically funding. The judicial system is underfunded. People sometimes don't even know that we are a co-equal branch of the government. There is always this focus on the legislative branch, electing your state and your federal senators and representatives. There's always focus on the president, which is the executive branch. Very seldom is there focus, if any focus at all, on the judicial branch. So one of the barriers is the fact that people do not try to gain information about their judges. People go in and vote only for the president or their state senator or their governor, and they forget about the judges. That is one barrier. Now, bringing it back to funding, because the legislative branch in your state determines how much your judges are paid, how much your court system receives. On numerous occasions for many years, our drug court here in Charlotte was on the chopping block for funding. When it was time when it was time to decide what to fund in the court system, our treatment court was always on the chopping block because it's not in every single county in North Carolina, just like it isn't in every court system across the country. Luckily, we're in the most populous county, and our county officials decided to help us to fund it. But really, is it their responsibility? That no, it's part of the court system. It's part of your judicial branch, and so it should be properly funded. We receive less than 2% of the budget.
Wow.
So not only are informed elections a barrier, but funding is a barrier as well.
Wow.
And, I can fashion as creative a sentence as possible, taking into account what someone needs. But some of the policies and laws actually don't help improve the outcomes.
Wow.
I'll give you one example, then I'll shut up. Example number one, when human trafficking was first brought to my attention, I ended up working with a young lady. Her name was Antonia Neat Childs. Shout out to Neat if you're here, if you're listening, Neat. And Neat was a survivor, or is a survivor of human trafficking, or what some people want to call, prostitution. No, it's human trafficking. First of all, you're underage, you don't have permission to consent. That's number one. So this issue was brought to the court system, and she was providing, for lack of a better term, some form of therapeutic services to these young ladies, trying to get them out the life. The way she was doing that was through cooking and baking. That is not a Medicaid reimbursable form of therapy, right?
Right.
So one of the ways that I tried to get people to bring her into the fold is I asked some of these agencies, yes, this is not traditional. Yes, you may not be able to get your money, but this is the right thing to do. Figure out a way, be as creative as you can, to try and figure out a way for these young ladies to be able to take advantage of her services.
Right.
And for us to support her financially, not just send girls to her and then don't give her any money to be able to do anything with these young ladies, but to help her. That was a huge barrier. She was able to do it for a while, and I'll be honest, some folks came in, thought they knew more than her. Once again, remember at the beginning I said in 2021, lived experience and expertise, book sense, right? And these people had the book sense, and they wanted to send these young ladies and young men. Let me not forget about young men. And most of the folks who are impacted by human trafficking, they've touched the foster care system. And they came in, and to be honest, because it was not traditional talk therapy, CBT, DBT, they honestly just wore her out, and she burned out. And that is one advocate. She's still an advocate, but her opportunity or her services were no longer used. They were no longer receive funding. And she set up everything as much as she could. And then people wanted her to come and train others. The same people who didn't want to help her. Right. But had the audacity to come and ask her to train and educate the North Carolina educator, legislature, and everyone else.
It's like, we won't pay you. We won't pay you, but we want you to come and give your knowledge away for free.
But they can't even, they don't even have the knowledge, because guess what? They don't have the lived experience. You can't tell me what it's like to be from a major urban city and live in the hood, and you're not from the hood. You may understand it, but you can't tell me.
Nope.
You can't tell a domestic violence victim. I can't tell a domestic violence victim what domestic violence is. I can read about it as much as I want.
But it doesn't put you in the seat.
Correct.
It doesn't put you in the seat. And so if you all love what she's been sharing so far, I want you to put in number 5. Put in number 5 in the comment block below. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back, and we're going to get right back into it. And if you have any questions whatsoever that you want to ask, now is the time to put your questions in there, because look, she came from the seat to the street, and she's on here with me this evening, and she's here to answer any question that you have that you want to know about. Now is the time. So look, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come right back.
All right, we got it here
For you to
tonight, y'all.
start bossing in social media. For all your social media needs, you come
Kimberly
to the
Best.
right place at the right time to get your website designed, landing page, social media platforms, and get the training you need to get in front of the people that's ready to buy your products and services. Let me train you with StreamYard, Zoom, Clubhouse, and much more. And let me help you get your virtual professionals, not assistants, because assistants can only assist you, but the virtual professionals can give you that professional flavor that you need to expand your reach and increase your revenue. Jump on in and get in where you fit in and start bossing today.
You got me running, got me running. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Raise your hands up. Raise them up.
All right, and we are back. We are back. And so I want to go ahead and look at who we have here. Folks been streaming stuff in, but we've been so into this conversation, sharing some stuff with you. So we've got Angela all the way from DC. Thank you, Angela. Much love to you for joining us. Who else do we have, Judge?
Looks like we have Dr. Margaret Andrews Fournier from San Antonio. Thanks for coming.
Ooh, ooh.
Stay safe in Texas.
Yes,
We have Raleigh, Phyllis Weaver from Raleigh, North Kakalaki in the house.
North Kakalaki. And we got some ones streaming in from all over. Who else do we have, Judge?
Oh gosh, we have someone from the Philippines. Good morning, Mr. Harris Tay. I have a girlfriend that used to live in the Philippines. So
awesome. And so we had some hand claps when you said you won the election. Somebody said congratulations.
Yes. Thank you.
And who else do we have?
Chi-Town in the house. Nikki Hammer, thanks for coming to join us. Right down the street from Detroit. Yes,
right down the street. And so we got a bunch of happy birthdays in to King. Hello for your baby. Yep. All right. And those of you that's trying to connect with folks and they want to go on my YouTube channel, send them right there to the YouTube channel. And don't forget to please share, like, and start a watch party. And we said KIR. I said put some K's up in there. And folks are saying K's and empowerment. I love to see it.
Wonderful.
Gerard is in from the Philippines. We are so happy to see you here. Nyla Baraki, that's Dr. Nyla Baraki. I cannot wait to talk to you. Yes, good to see you. And lovely Liz, good to see you.
That's my bestie from the
Go bestie, go bestie, go bestie, go bestie. Dr. Margaret Fournier put 5. She is the Colonel. She is the Colonel. Okay, so we have a comment. So, Judge, you want to take that?
Okay, it looks like Nyla, Dr. Baraki says when she worked at CASAC as a drug counselor, often people were deliberately led away from treatment court and took plea agreements and were incarcerated and released without medication or a stable life plan and a record limiting job opportunities. Unfortunately, yeah, that is true. But that's where you have to make sure you have some thank you, Dr. Baraki, for saying treatment court reduces recidivism, and it's proven. And that's why we're celebrating 25 years here in Charlotte with our treatment courts. And I'm going to tell you, I don't know who's steering these people away from treatment courts so they can get it over with, but maybe they need some education on really the value of treatment courts. Honestly,
because
they do. If they are a public defender, if they're a defense attorney, I guarantee you ask any defense attorney who's worth their ilk, and a lot of them, they are the hardest working people.
Yes.
I guarantee you they're going to be steering their clients to drug treatment court, not away from it.
Exactly.
So I don't know who these folks are and why they're steering them away from treatment court. don't do that, because basically you're just causing them to recidivate. You're
Yep.
causing them to come right back
Yep.
into the system without addressing the issue that brought them before a judge in the
Yep.
first place.
Yep. And it's already hard enough to stay out of trouble when you come out if you don't have anything to go to. And these treatment processes help get people in line with trying to get their life in line. And so it's so hard when people recidivate. I worked in the prison system for a number of years, 7 to be exact. And it broke my heart when I would see people come back, especially youthful offenders, because I started out with the youthful offenders. And then to see them come back as adults, it really did something to me, because I wondered, how did we fail them? And sometimes people say, no, they failed themselves. Well, something was wrong with the system, because
There you
a
go.
great system produces great results.
Exactly.
And if you have someone under your jurisdiction, because they are when they're locked up, you schedule out how they're going to transition in the pen. Okay.
Correct. Reentry 101.
Right,
That's right.
that reentry process has to be one that is so supportive, and you have to have people to follow up with them. But see, here's the problem. When you're not paying people properly on the outside to help people that's locked up on the inside, and they get dropped off in the outside with someone that's not being paid, it's a problem. It's the same thing with officers that work in the prison systems. Why is it that some prisoners that work in prison systems, they're making more money than the officers? And then you wonder why the officers are bringing in drugs. That's going to be another show. But anyway, I feel what you're saying about the recidivism, Dr. Baraki, because that is true. And so we're gonna spin right into this, because like I said before, Judge, you do a lot. So how do you balance your life for the judicial system, the law, and society to make it all work?
I don't. I don't. I don't.
I told you she keep it real. She ain't even playing.
I do not. The thing is that you can try as hard as you can, but with so many balls in the air, one ball is going to drop. So you have to make sure. I have to make sure there's some self-care involved. And I'll be honest, with this pandemic going on, my self-care is traveling. I love to travel. You name the country, I've been there. There's 2 continents I haven't been to yet, and that's Australia and Asia. Oh, wow. But every other continent I've visited at some point in time, multiple times to some of them. I want to go back to Africa. I haven't been back to Africa. Little piece out there, y'all. Africa is a continent, not a country. Okay. So I just want to make sure, because there's still this perception, because when they talk about Africa, they in Africa they're doing this on the whole continent. Well, which part? Kenya, Mozambique, Ghana, Sierra Leone, Liberia, South Africa, Congo, or which one? But anyway, so self-care is important. Self-care, prayer, yoga. I love acupuncture. I missed my acupuncture appointment today because I have so many balls in the air. But I'm gonna tell you, I actually prefer acupuncture to massages. It is one of those things, and you appreciate this, having been to Asia and lived there. They can still to this day not explain how acupuncture works. They tried toothpicks and everything, and I am terrified of needles. But let me tell you, when I tell you, it's almost like you can feel the energy just relaxing you and flowing. It is so relaxing. A massage has nothing on acupuncture. I guarantee you, find you a good acupuncture therapist out there, everyone, to just relax you, to sort of center you, to get you going,
How about cupping?
I had that done 2 weeks ago. I'm gonna be honest. I had that done 2 weeks ago. I had all these little marks on my back.
Yep.
Then she did something called gua sha, where she took the spoon, because I've been having some upper back pains, and she did that as well, and that helped tremendously. Because I've been having some upper back pains, and ladies, just so you know, we carry our stress right
up in here, y'all.
Exactly where my back has been hurting. So I know, I don't know that I'm stressed.
Mhm.
until I have some physical manifestation.
Right.
Either this is my back is hurting or I break out in hives. Well, I'm not breaking out in hives anymore. And then I have allergies. So I don't even
Mhm.
know if, I would break out in hives if I wasn't on my allergy, my antihistamines. But my back hurting, I know, okay, I'm stressed and I need to do
Mhm.
something. But I am ready to travel. I
Yeah,
am
I'm
so
I'm
ready to
ready to
travel.
travel too, and at the same time, I'm not trying to go nowhere and get
Right.
sick either. So I
Exactly.
say travel, and be cautious if you got to travel, but
Yes.
most importantly, get you some self-care in, even if it's at
Yes.
home. On Mondays, myself and Hillary, we do a news you can use, and every Monday, we've gone back to bouncing. Like this Monday, we went back to bouncing on our trampoline, bouncing on our balls, and I got to tell you, it works wonders for people who are trying to
Wow.
lose weight, for people who are stressed out. And the funny thing is that a lot of people, they get scared, Kim, and they say, look, I might fall or something like that. Well, look, I'm here to show you I am living proof. Okay, it works because
I
I,
need
lo- I
something.
lost
I've
I
been
lost some
my
pounds.
COVID-19.
Look,
Are you
I
the boat?
yeah, I'm on the board right now. I'm bouncing. So
I
if you
love it.
guys love to bounce, here you go. And it's very inexpensive. My trampoline, very inexpensive. You can fold it down. You can slide it up under your bed when you want it out the way. Hey, King. So
You're trying to hand me the
happy
phone.
birthday. So you can do this. And so I totally agree with you, Judge. The
Right.
self-care is paramount. You got to have that self-care. So those of you that's out there, you concur with the self-care, go ahead and put a number 6 in the comment block below. Because if you're not taking care of yourself, especially those of you that have very busy, hectic, and stressful lives, and this is the thing. Just imagine those of you that are a judge, that you're an entrepreneur, or those of you that are a full-time mom or dad. That is stressful. That is hectic. You ever had your kid come to you with, like, I don't know, something in their hand and that they're not supposed to be eating, and be like, Mommy, I ate this. That's stress. That's rude.
Poison control phone number on speed dial.
Or how about this? I'm gonna tell you something that happened to me last week. The cable company comes out, they're doing some adjustments at the pole. I'm in the meeting, my cable go out. That's stressful. Bath
Yes.
101 soak. Do you know Vicks Vapor Rub makes vapor beads that you can pour in your water? And did you know that?
I did not. My favorite has been sold out is a sake bath by Fresh. It's
What?
50% it is 50%
Sake.
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 It
Yeah.
detoxes you. Yeah. When Memoirs of a Geisha came out, the
Yeah.
movie, it was a book. I
Uh-huh.
read the book years ago.
Yeah.
But Fresh came out with a Memoirs of a Geisha sake bath, rice bath. It is 50% sake. I'm telling you, it's not cheap. But when I tell you it relaxes you and detoxes you, you only need a
Mm-hmm.
little bit, get the water as hot as possible,
Mm-hmm.
and it literally pulls all the impurities out of you and relaxes you. You do have to drink water after you get out
Mm-hmm.
of that hot bath, take a cold shower to close your pores. Works wonders, but they're sold out. I
So
haven't been able
so
to get it. I've been looking for 6 months.
So, Judge, what you gonna do, right? You gonna give me the information.
I
I'm gonna
am.
call my friend in Japan and be like,
Please.
could you like get this and mail this? Okay. So after the show, y'all know what's gonna happen after the show. If y'all want the information, y'all gotta DM me. Y'all gotta DM me, okay? Because she keeping it real. Self-care. Self-care is the way to go. So with that, we got folks making some comments. So let's see what they're saying. They want to know. They want to know. They want that sake. Okay. All right. So we have a bunch of folks. They say, I love acupuncture. Angie says, I love acupuncture. And she also says self-care first. If you don't take care of yourself, no one will. Wow. What else did she say, Judge?
Looks like she else says, go low, low, bounce yourself to a happy body.
So
Yes.
they want the inside track.
Yes.
Lovely. What did Miss Lovely say?
Liz said, that's my bestie from Detroit. You can also use that ball on the wall to do squats with. That's right. You sure can build up that core.
Yeah, we
A
need
strong
to do
pour
that
goes
one
a
night. We
long
need to
way.
do that one night. Miss Lovely, I'm a challenge you to come on my show, News You Can Use on Monday. News You Can Use on Monday. And I'm going to do that bar routine. Now, if I fall, Miss Liz, you cannot laugh. See, Kim laughing, Judge laughing already. She like, oh, that's going to be funny. Right? So we got DJ Mike J. He says, nice way to exercise. I need one of those. Yes, I'm telling you, economical, and it will help you. So Angie says sake bath, and she knows she's she's
Yes.
Japanese and American. Sake bath. I need to find that. Is this online only? I'm trying to get the secret sauce from Judge. I'm trying to get the secret sauce.
Well, I don't want to, I'm not being, hey, from Chicago, Miss Hillary. It's not, I don't want to say the name of the store that sells it, but it starts with an S and ends with an A and has a PH in the middle. That's where I usually, pick it up from. But actually, no, but honestly, Google it. And you can find it. It doesn't have to be just fresh. I'm just saying that's the brand that's the brand I came to know
Right. Okay.
years ago. And the brand, I had MRSA, and when I tell you,
oh, wow.
it literally pulled that out. I had boils, and it literally drained it out of me. So because the antibiotics weren't working, and so it, but it really helped. But just Google it, sake bath. Yeah, it's 50% actual sake.
Yeah, and if you ever had sake,
is
you
that how
know
you
what it is.
pronounce it again?
Sake.
So the E is an A,
Sake.
like Spanish.
Sake.
Okay.
Sake.
Sake.
So
Sake.
Judge, I always your bestie said don't fall. You know what that means, y'all. She said, Lolo, don't fall. That means if you fall, I'ma laugh. So
it's just real.
Yeah, she keep it 100. So I want to share this with you all because I know y'all love the secret sauce, and I'm not slipping tonight. So there you go. You go right there. And we not, I go for the secret sauce. I like to see what, because I'm going to get this, y'all. I'm going to get this. And so we're not telling you to go nowhere and get this. If you get it, it's on your own. But I had to look up the secret sauce. I'm always looking. I figured it out. Thanks for the letters. I love Wheel of Fortune. That's what Mike said. He loved Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so with that being said, Dr. Mike Freeland, you smart, because I was like, it's a what in the middle? It's what in the middle? I'm trying to do a show, and I'm trying to figure it out. Okay, so she says she's challenging you. Liz is challenging me. Angie says she's challenging me. So Liz, you got to come on the show and get your ball. So anyway, we're going to get right back to this. So look, folks, we know you're loving this, and we are right at the top of the hour. And so, Judge, I've had you in the hot seat all night. Right. You just burnt up the mic. You shared from your heart space, and it's always such a heart space full of love. And I really appreciate you. For sharing that. But I'm not letting you out the hot seat yet.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to go to a quick break.
Okay.
And I'm going to come back. And what I want to know is, what do you want everybody to know about the law and about politics? If y'all want to know what she thinks about the law and politics, give me a 10, because she's a 10 and she about to help all of y'all win. We're going to be right back. Don't go nowhere.
You got me running, Shake it, baby. Raise your hands up. Raise them up.
What can I say? I know y'all saying, Lolo, we need another 30-second break. Well, here you go. Take it. It's time for you to
to start bossing in social media. For all your social media needs, you come to the right place at the right time to get your website designed, landing page, social media platforms, and get the training you need to get in front of the people that's ready to buy your products and services. Let me train you with StreamYard, Zoom, Clubhouse, and much more. And let me help you get your virtual professionals, not assistants, because assistants can only assist you, but the virtual professional can give you that professional flavor that you need to expand your reach and increase your revenue. Jump on in and get in where you fit in and start bossing today.
Oh, yeah. Welcome back to the show, and we hope that you are bossing as well as flossing. I've got the wonderful Judge Kimberly Best. Don't mess with the rest. Why? When you can deal with the best. That's right. Got it right here on the Ignite show. And listen, we're about to ignite and take flight as we prepare to say goodnight, but we are not going to say goodnight until she says so. So, Judge, can you tell us what your thoughts are as far as what we need to know from you about law and politics?
The number one thing that I want people to understand and to know is that it can work for you. If it doesn't work for you, you have to make it work for you. There's an old saying many of you have heard, sometimes regarding in different areas, but you have to be in it to win it. And really what that's saying is you have to challenge yourself to learn about it, to learn about politics, to get involved in politics, because it can work for you. There is something for everyone to do, to participate in this, what we call democracy, this great democracy. But you have to be in it. You have to be involved. It's okay to let other people do the work sometimes, but it's okay for you to put in your 2 cents or to contribute just a little bit. It takes just a little bit of time. The main thing I want people to remember is that during this year, during 2020, there was a lot going on in the world with the death of George Floyd, civil unrest, Ahmaud Arbery, and with, Sandra Bland and Breonna Taylor and countless others, too numerous to name, who were lost to violence at the hands of those who were charged with actually protecting us. But keep in mind that it may seem unjust to you, but keep in mind that justice must be just. That's what a civil society is supposed to be. Equal must be equitable. But in order to get there, you can't sit back and let everyone do everything for you. You have to be in it. You have to get involved. I'm a woman of quotes. I love quotes. If you don't already have a credo, determine what your credo is. Credo, C-R-E-D-O. That is, what is your belief system? What guides you every single day? I have a couple, but I'm going to leave you with a couple of them that I actually prefer to leave you with. One is from that great, great, great philosopher, Master Yoda from Star Wars. And one thing he said is, do or do not. There is no try. He also said, fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, and hate leads to suffering. Keep those things in mind. And as you move forward in your life, try and be what's called a servant leader. That's this concept that you are a leader, but you are a servant. You are serving your God, you are serving your community, you are serving your people. And there's this gentleman named Roy Lessin, Lesssin, who has a quote that I have at the bottom of my emails that says, a godly leader finds strength by realizing his weakness, finds authority by being under authority, finds direction by laying down his plans, finds vision by seeing the needs of others, finds credibility by being an example, finds loyalty by expressing compassion, finds honor by being faithful, and finds greatness by being a servant. Now, I can leave you with that and tell you to be a godly leader. And I am going to leave you with that. But my all-time favorite quote and credo, and this was part of the Bring Who You Are mantra, is by Frederick Douglass, that historic abolitionist who fought against the notion and the system of slavery in the United States of America. And what he said is, I prefer to be true to myself, even at the hazard of incurring the ridicule of others, rather than to be false and to incur my own abhorrence. What he's basically saying is he'd rather keep it real than deal with people criticizing him, talking about him, mistreating him, than to be false or fake and deal with his own self-hatred, not be able to look himself in the mirror. So with that, that's what I want everyone to realize when it comes to law, politics, and just everyday life. It all comes together. And so I thank you for having me on the show, Lotus. I think that's my cue, because that's the 5-year-old.
Well,
I go from serious to laughing because he's bonking the horn. But
well, shouts out to you, Judge. Shouts out to your baby. He's amazing. And thank you again for being on the show. And for those of you that don't know, you definitely want to know this judge, because she keeps it real as she takes it from the seat to the street. And so, Judge, we thank you. I look forward to seeing the rest of you on Friday on News You Could Use. And Judge, be blessed, and thank you again. Good night, everyone, and we'll see you next time. Ignite and take flight in every area of your life. Oh, yeah!
You got me running, got me running.